Before we start, this episode was recorded live at 105.5 FM Lumpen Radio, where noseyAF goes live on the air every second and fourth Saturday of the month. What you're hearing is the conversation as it happened. No edits, no retakes. Still curious and very fun, but honestly, sort of scary. So settle in and enjoy this conversation on noseyAF. WLPN LP Chicago 105.5 FM Lumpen Radio. Hi, Chicago. So excited to be here with you all today. So excited. Oh my gosh, what is going on? Okay, sorry about that, guys. We are so excited to have Troy and Chi here from Black Film Club Collective, a Chicago-based film and visual arts platform that brings people together through screenings, exhibitions, and conversations centered on Black storytelling. Welcome, you guys.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
Thank you. Great intro song too.
Oh,
Like, that was a vibe. I like it.
Thank you so much. Just so we can know who we're talking to, Troy, can you say hello to everyone?
Yeah, what's up, world, Chicago? I'm Troy, co-founder and one part of Black Film Club Collective.
Cool. And
I am Chinyere, also known as Chi. I am the other half of Black Film Club Collective.
yes, and I'm so excited for you all to be here because you guys started Black Film Club Collective in 2020. Is that right?
Correct.
Mhm.
Which, let's not talk about that yet. It's tough for everybody. Outside of you all starting
Yeah.
Black Film Club,
Yeah.
take us back to the beginning. What was missing that made you want to create this space?
Mhm.
Yeah, I think just being a fan of just movies, right, at the time, and maybe we can talk about that later. I think I was really starting to pick up my interest and love for it again. I grew up around it. And so when I got to Chicago, obviously Chicago is a world-class city as it relates to arts and culture. I started going, to film centers, art houses, theaters, and I just noticed that I had friends that I would talk to one-on-one, but we never really had like defined spaces where we could come together and really just talk and discuss film at a conversational, like intellectual level,
Yeah.
and wax poetic, if you will, about it. And so that was really kind of the core driving factor in like starting a film club.
Yeah,
Well,
being the change you want to see.
Yeah.
That's that.
I enjoy having conversations with folks
Yeah.
and really diving deep into what makes people tick, what their thoughts and ideas are. And I enjoyed that aspect, and I didn't see that enough, or I didn't experience it enough. The closest to it was the poetry scene, where you could really express yourself and have moments where you get up there and say whatever you want.
Yeah.
But I like the communal aspect of being in conversation with folks. And so that was the draw. And film seemed to be such an easy catalyst to pick apart someone else's life
Yeah.
without having to necessarily pick apart your own. But as you are picking apart those lives, you then become connected to like, oh, wait, let me look at myself, So it was just like it was like a safe space to really be seen and also have conversations about other people. It's like okay to gossip about somebody
Exactly.
else.
Yeah. I know. Sometimes characters are so weird. Like I think
Yeah.
of like certain movies and I'm like, oh, I wonder what that character's doing right now. And I'm like, wait, they're not real. Oh, wait, are they? It's so bizarre.
Or the thought behind the writers and why they wrote the character that way, or why is this story being told? And I love how art allows you to be like a critic, if you will, but also be in it. And it's in that same way of like, wait, because definitely I thought Issa Rae in Insecure was my best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yes.
you have to remember that Issa Rae is like, that's a character that,
No, you're
she's
real.
acting as.
No,
Yeah.
you're real.
Right. What were the early gatherings like, before Black Film Club came to be what it is today?
You know what? I love that you asked that question because really, to Chi's point, like this idea of like, I don't know if people remember Love Jones, right? You have to remember Love
Yeah,
Jones if
who
you're in
doesn't?
Chicago.
Yeah.
If you don't watch the movie, shame on you.
Okay.
But like, I just always recall like those are friends, like obviously going to poetry slams, taking part in kind of like that intellectual, like, I guess, exchange
Mm,
at dinner, right? And they're talking about is God a woman or a man, right? But it's just really having a conversation, and honestly, that's what the actual initial stages look like. It was literally in my apartment, friends crowded around like a living room and the kitchen table, having conversations over probably too many glasses of wine, but really
mhm.
just thinking deeper about culture and like what these films are like moving us to. So it felt very like after school club, like if underground, if you will, kind of
Yeah.
like cool vibes. If like somewhere where artist friends would do, like if they were in like college or like in high school, like into the space. So
Yeah, it always reminded me of, like, the kids in my neighborhood that would play magic cards, but, like, maybe and no shade to the magic card kids, but better dressed. Like, there was, like, like, we'd had leather jackets where maybe the magic card kids just had, like, a jean jacket.
Right, right.
Both are
Yeah.
great, but, it just
But
seemed
I
like
get
it
what
took
you're
it up a
saying.
level.
It's like it elevated just a little bit.
Yes. Now
Yeah,
somebody's
yeah.
gonna message me like, "How dare you?"
oh yeah, they coming for the DMs.
That's
for sure.
Okay.
What's wrong with a jean jacket?
I know, right? What's wrong with magic? Shout out to
EFC likes
magic.
magic kids. Okay,
Yeah.
look.
Okay, right. Oh my gosh. I've been thinking about film as a universal language, sort of like you said.
Mhm.
And we all come from different backgrounds, but almost everyone watches movies, just like people around the world are watching, the World Cup right now.
Yeah.
People around the world gather for film. Do you think film has a unique ability to connect people across differences? And how has that idea maybe shaped what you guys are doing?
I do think it has the ability to connect people across differences. I think about films, international films such as My Father's Shadow
Mm.
or what was the one Sanal, it was a Senegalese film we showed
Banal and
recent.
Adama,
Banal and Adama, and also there was another one, um,
Atlantique.
Atlantiques,
Antiques, yeah.
that we had an opportunity to screen with folks, and I really appreciated how our dialogue was so rich and so meaningful, especially around, or I shouldn't say especially, all of them were really rich, but My Father's Shadow was such a beautiful story because not only did we get to see someone going through different things in, I believe it was South Africa where he was from at the time when when there was the uprising and all the things that were happening, and we got to see,
Nigeria. Yeah.
we got to
Nigeria.
see a father going through some major things, but the dialogue was so beautiful because it was people in the crowd who were from Nigeria or who
Oh,
were
cool.
raised by Nigerian parents. I
Yeah.
am a first generation American, so my dad was Nigerian, and really just hearing the stories like, and
Mhm.
like putting two and two together, but also understanding it from this father's perspective. It was such a beautiful and rich conversation that everyone in the audience, or I shouldn't say everyone, but the folks who stayed back to have the conversation, we could tell that they were impacted in a really rich and meaningful way. And
Wow.
it was this, I don't know, it was like a really great connection.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I'll throw out another one that I really like that I feel resonated with just like different audience, people from different backgrounds. Mississippi Masala,
Oh,
which
yeah.
like if people haven't seen it, literally just kind of like resurfaced. They were basically the distribution company was in a fight, to get
Oh,
the rights
okay.
for a while, but now it's back. And it's being shown in different capacities. But Denzel Washington, right, is a gentleman working in the South,
Mhm.
deep South, and he falls in love with a woman who is actually, I believe she has African origins, but she's also an Indian woman, right?
Right,
And
yeah.
we definitely had people who had Indian origin, in their in the audience, as well
Mhm.
as obviously Black and brown people there, and just the conversations around those differences, as they were both almost marginalized people in the South, trying to make a way, but also having like those different family traits or cultural traits, right? And like
Yeah.
how they consider dating versus how we consider dating. What does free will look like? What does
Yeah.
responsibility, or like what do they say? The responsibility to my cultural,
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
of like honoring tradition mean,
Right.
when
Mhm.
it and as it relates to love. So that was a really rich conversation.
Mm.
Yeah,
And those
that's a good
are like
one.
the special parts around film where you can kind of bring people together
Mhm.
and really just dissect like what do these things really mean for us, because everybody's experiencing these things in
Mhm.
different capacities.
Yeah.
And it's like good to kind of just bring those back to the table and really see, how people feeling, right? When that movie was made in the 90s, 20 years ago, how
Mhm.
do we feel about this today?
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the magic that we can get to when we kind of have like those like diasporic conversations.
Yeah, and I feel like because you guys include the conversation piece of your films, what do you think? Do you think people go to those excited to already discuss films, or like where do you think that what makes the magic that gets people to want to share?
I think definitely people come knowing, or if they don't know, they're excited once they do find out they
Yeah.
get to talk, because they wanna be heard, they wanna share their perspective because so many times how many times have you watched a film with someone and wanted to lean over
Yeah.
and whisper to them or say, "Whoa, did you see that?" Or,
Yeah.
so it definitely feels like people are primed and ready to talk. When that portion comes up, they're like, "Okay, I'm ready,"
Yeah.
so
I love that.
Yeah, you would think that would be probably the toughest part, but honestly, that might be the easiest part of the
Okay.
process because to Chi's point, I think we've done a good job of creating a space where people know, hey, we get to go talk about a film here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I think for whatever reason, and I think this is maybe what I was feeling, at the time, because I would be excited to just discuss, and there's no way to do it. So I think people are making up for lost time,
Yeah, for real.
like, and if you think about it, I feel like, movie culture back, when we were younger, I'm speaking from millennial perspective. I don't know if my Gen Z people understand that,
Yeah.
maybe, but like you went to go see a movie on a Friday or Saturday or
Yeah.
Sunday, and it was a thing. Like we
Mhm.
all went there, and then we would maybe stay at a mall, right, and
Mhm.
talk about it, or
Yeah.
like have some level of exchange. And somewhere in the world of streaming, we kind of lost that.
Mhm.
And I think that also the perfect storm of us coming out of a pandemic and really
Yeah.
picking up storm, people wanted connection again. And I
Mm.
think that community is really at the core of like what we're doing when we bring people together. Like we're giving a community and also intellectual like food at the same time.
Yeah.
So
We used to call it edutainment.
edutainment.
Yes,
Edutainment.
She
edutainment.
coined that word, by the way.
I
It's
actually heard it from
trademarked if
someone
you
else. Nah,
I love
like it's just been
edutainment.
passed along, passed down. Nah, good point. Good.
Yeah, because it's the worst when, like, after you go to a movie theater and your friends just wanna go home, you're like, "Dang, nobody wants to get, like, a
really we
slice of
just
pizza and talk about the movie?"
Man, a taco or something?
Yeah,
Can
like,
we,
what
like,
is
keep
that?
talking? Yeah,
Right.
and sometimes, I wanna talk in the theater with
Yeah.
folks, so we recently, my daughter and I, we went to see Obsession, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, that's a whole 'nother story.
Okay,
We don't
yes, I
need
have
another
thoughts
we gonna
about
have
that.
to come
Yeah.
back and talk about that one, but, afterwards, we ended up staying and talking with a few people that were
Oh,
there who
cool.
had saw we didn't know them, but we kinda
Yeah.
had a conversation about relationships and what that movie meant, and then the person that was cleaning up the aisles preparing for the next show, they even got in on the conversation,
I
so
love it.
so I was like, "Wow, this is so cool," because I think people they wanna talk about the points and the moments that kinda inspired them or pissed them off or just like, I just gotta talk about this."
Yeah, I
So,
was
yeah.
gonna ask if folks talk in your screenings, like
I
Oh,
think so, for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
It's definitely culturally built around,
mhm.
the Black experience as well. It feels like that. The music reflects it, the snacks reflect it. Like, people will, cite different, popular, captions or like phrases from a film. Like we want them to have that space, right? Because sometimes you don't get to do it by yourself,
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, so it's like a theater, like when people go, right? You know, so
Yeah. Thank you guys so much
Mhm.
for curating these screenings for everybody to come to.
Such joy.
Yeah.
Like, thank you for thanking us.
Yeah.
And also, it feels really good to be of service in that way.
Mhm.
It's funny, I was telling Troy recently, like, we had, I can't remember which screen, it was a matinee and mimosas that we do in Wicker Park, and I had an opportunity just to kinda sit back, and he was in front doing his thing, and it just was so much joy just to watch it from behind the scenes, if you will,
Yeah.
and just see it, and it really does feel like service. It feels like, um we're giving people an opportunity to be in community in this way, and it feels
Mhm.
rich, it feels luxurious, it feels fun. So I selfishly be having fun just looking at everyone. So thank you for thanking us, and also
Yeah.
it feels like really cool to be in service in this way in entertainment.
Yes.
Whoa,
For
right.
how
sure.
cool!
Absolutely. You guys must watch a bunch of movies. How do you decide what we're gonna see?
I know, I wish I could watch more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Troy does a really good job of, like, keeping us abreast of the films because I just kind of fall into film when I'm
Yeah.
inspired.
I know. Yeah. Troy, you have to give us like
I
how do
you
you
know,
how do you cover so much ground?
I think you know what? Yes, we do watch a lot of movies, but I think even as we run a club, we also have like subcultures of
Oh, yeah.
like film clubs within our like that we go to for
Yeah.
inspiration. Like our friends, right? Like what are you all watching? And
Yeah.
we share movies and share films. And I just find myself kind of going down different rabbit holes, you know, like
Yeah.
looking for different films or, you know, maybe I might get a coffee book that has just different things
Mhm.
or a magazine that's talking
Mm.
about something interesting. So, yeah, I think it's just I'm constantly thinking about like what all right, if we're in this state of the world, what type of film might be reflecting life, you know, in a similar capacity? What could I gain from something like that?
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's kind of like my approach to it. And I think we also think of just about the audience, even
Yeah,
though
so
that we're catering to.
But do you guys
yeah, and
have
we
like
keep
a
the
quota of like movies you see? Like, okay, I need to make sure I watch 3 movies a night to be able to get together and plan out your season?
during, the film symposium season, we
Okay.
do.
Yeah.
We are we're getting there on the front of, like, having a stockpile of films like, "Oh, we wanna watch this in October," because we've been tapped by these wonderful organizations to also be thought partners on some of the events and activities they have, and so we try to be emergent and also thoughtful in our planning, and, it was funny, as Troy was mentioning, just our wonderful community, we do have a really great community of folks who do archiving and folks who are acting and just doing beautiful things and who are into animation, anime, or into action films. And so we really do depend on our community to help keep it diverse because
Mhm.
if it were up to myself and like I'm very like a beautiful mind patterned in some ways, I'll be like, well, isn't it 2026? And what about 10 years ago? What were we doing then in 2006? And what films speak to that? And then in 19, and then I try and find these little patterns, and Troy will be like, no, we're
Okay.
not gonna sit here
Like,
and
come on,
try and
syllabus.
we're not gonna try and draw all of these patterns and maybe if we cite this book to go with it. So it helps to break the monotony definitely to have our friends who are just well versed in film in that way.
Yeah.
But I think also just watching that's bad funny actually,
Yeah.
but true.
I'm down to go on a rabbit hole with you, by the way.
Thank
Maybe that
you.
could be a week workshop or something like a week long.
Oh, she got rabbit holes and they can go deep.
Oh my God,
Amy, what's up,
I
Doc?
love rabbit holes so much.
But also I think it's something about like also just like being a fan of movies and watching just global films too, right?
Mhm.
Like just watching different things because we watch a little bit of everything. And I think even being able to step out of like the Black experience and see other films helps you come back and even look at different Black experiences in a different way or like maybe go pick out something that you might have not thought about,
Yeah.
So I think that's also a part of it too. Just being a fan of the genre really kind of powers me in general. So I think that's kind of like what, keeps it going. It just keeps it fresh for me,
Yeah, and I do want to give a shameless plug for
Cool.
House of the Collective, which
Yes.
is a platform we launched so that we can give our friends who are also well-versed in film a space and opportunity to curate an event. Maybe they have a film they want to see, and then they bring together audiences. So House of the Collective is that space so that it's not all on
Yep.
my beautiful mind and and Troy's international film watching. Like we're like, okay, let's break it up. Let's see what else is out there. So that's
Wait,
been House.
amazing
so
point.
tell us more about House of Collective. Is this just in your friend group, or if somebody's listening and like, I know a movie y'all should watch, can they hit you up?
Yeah. House of Collective is a guest curating curator programming series that we do. We've been hosting it at Monday Coffee, which is our resident like community screening.
Cool.
And we invite in trusted friends and guests of BFC, which we consider under the House of the Collective.
Okay.
To curate a film of their choice, and then they'll actually curate the film and actually lead the conversation.
Okay.
And so it brings in, to Chi's point, those different perspectives, right? Because we have perspectives of what we like, but this also brings in different friends, right?
Mhm.
And that's how we end up with maybe a screening of Boomerang again,
Yeah.
right? Or like a Lantiques, which is essentially almost like it's really a Senegalese horror,
Wow.
genre film,
Mhm.
right? Which is like it's super interesting, but that's what you get when you kind of invite friend voices in. You
Yeah.
give yourself a chance to even step back and say, wow, I haven't even been thinking about this genre. Like what else is,
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
that we haven't been exploring. So
Right. It gives you a chance to sort of chill. Because I would imagine when you guys are hosting these things, do you guys get an opportunity to chill and just watch the movie? Or are you always thinking about something?
Yeah, that's a good question. I know for me, I'm learning how to chill.
Yeah.
Like actively looking for a class, a tutorial on how
Okay.
not to do the most.
Mhm.
So I'm learning.
Yeah. I wonder if there's a film about that. I'm sure there is.
Mm,
Yeah.
maybe.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think similar to Chi, I think I'm learning. I think we've gotten to a place where we've been able to streamline a lot more of our processes. So it's
Mhm.
becoming a bit easier to chill. And I think our audience is even understanding, the programming formats more. So the events are almost kind of learning almost how to run themselves, if you will.
Mhm.
So I think
Mhm.
there's been a more ease in letting go of some of the things where we thought we had to do a bit more teaching.
Yeah.
And now the audience kind of already knows what to expect. Like, oh, we're coming here, we're going to do this. Like, at some point, this is going to happen.
Okay.
So like there isn't as much hand holding as you would think you would need to do.
Yeah.
Right on.
Because the public is wild. When you guys started, they were like an apartment screening series, wasn't it? Like sort of like apartment. Were those public?
Well, it started with friends.
Okay,
Yeah, it
okay,
started
with friends. Okay.
And then when we went, that would be kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Not quite there yet.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But no, once we went to a venue, then it became public.
Okay.
And obviously, like it's like controlling
Sure.
like a classroom. It can get rowdy versus, on certain topics, people get passionate about things like, hey, it's a safe space, y'all. We all,
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because you're hearing you're hearing perspectives from people, and it can be a little triggering when you start having those conversations. But thankfully, we enter into it with a safe space.
Of
The
course.
most rowdiest folks, interestingly enough, were our mature community.
yes.
They came
Yes.
in
We love
and
you.
rebel
Yes.
roused. I was like, who would have thought we would have to tell our elders to simmer down?
Yeah.
So, but it was
Right, because you
it was-
can't talk to elders like that, first of all. So,
Well,
yeah. Well, and then you have to. You're
when
like,
I
no, I'm
tried
going
to
to.
even say elder to one of the elders, they checked
Uh-oh.
me and said, I am not an elder. I'm just like you. I was like, okay.
no.
So it was really cute. And also I was like, Troy, who would have thought we would need crowd control for our elders?
Really?
So-
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I know I always I'll go to like some lecture or whatever. And then when you hear somebody say, oh, but I disagree with that, you're just like, oh,
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's like,
Dun, dun, dun.
oh
Hold
no,
your breath.
oh no.
Cue the Netflix documentary.
Okay, okay. I've been loving seeing people do that Netflix documentary series. That is just so
It's
hilarious.
a great meme.
I'm glad
Yeah.
it's just broke up the monotony from the polygamist.
Yes. Have you guys watched that? I have not. I don't know if I can handle it yet.
You can't.
Okay.
Okay. Look, this is a PSA to everyone. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. I did it for the team because I kept seeing it come up in my feed. And then one night I was like, okay, I'll do it. I cannot get my time back.
Yeah.
I've been trying.
It's just amazing. Well, the person who created that, like, she wrote that and then she like let it sit for a while and then somebody like picked it back up. It's
Yeah.
like, wow.
Yep. And to hear a story and how it started from a book and the impetus for it was actually woman empowerment. But to see the show, I'm like, no, it was a mismatch.
Oh my goodness. You know, we have 5 minutes until we take a break, but I just
Yes.
wanted to say, like, are there any particular memorable screenings outside of the elders gracing their voices? Any sort of like memorable screenings, discussions, or moments that have stood out to y'all from the past few years that you've been doing this?
May I?
Yes, please,
Just really
please.
briefly, I really enjoy the times, and I know you said one time, but I enjoy the times we get to collaborate with folks. I think about the early days we collaborated with this group Sunday Music Session, and we did a Love Jones screening. It was a blast.
Yeah.
So fun.
It was so cool. And just those type of screenings when we get to collaborate with folks, those are the memorable ones because they're fun and then we're not doing everything.
Yeah.
So we, I like those.
Yeah.
And then most recently, Simple Wednesday, we did one for Brown Sugar. So I really like the ones where we get to collaborate. Those are fun.
The collaboration is fun. It's because it brings such a different energy into it. Like you already have an energy of your organization, but then you get to feed off of their organization's energy and their community. So it's like you kind of like a gumbo of like people mixing, and that's always super fun.
Yeah.
I do got a standout screening. I really enjoyed the Love Brooklyn screening that we did. So we partnered with Greenwich for the premiere of Love Brooklyn. And I felt like the community was so excited. Like they sold out the theater basically like twice.
Wow.
And like everybody was like so engaged.
Yeah.
Like you could tell there was just like a thirst for like another type of like just, film around the Black experience in like our dating life.
Yeah.
That's actually mature and not like weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like not like like you have like the funny like holiday rom-coms, but like, oh, like what does it look like normal people falling in love in like messiness. And like that theater got spicy. Like like so, but I think that really stood out when like the community really just kind of like got behind it and like just supported it. And I think I felt like, all right, like we can really, build those relationships and really, move the culture in a different way around it.
Yeah, and it proves like, we like these movies. Like we want more of these movies. And there's room, like make more.
Yeah, it's like confirmation. It's like, oh yeah, well we're bringing this movie. Yeah, like do it.
Yeah.
There's an audience there.
Yeah, for sure. I know, because there's always like some extreme. It either has to be like reality show or like goofing off. It's like
it's just like one of the above or like some super like traumatic like moment is like, why can't it just be like everybody makes it out and it's just like maybe a heartbreak. You know what I mean?
I know.
But like it's like just madness, like death, and then it's like craziness. You're like,
I know. It's just such tragedy.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Also something that sticks out, and I want to honor time. Sinners.
Yeah.
We got to
amazing.
hang with Ryan. Well, I call it a hang. It probably was more like he didn't know who we were, but then it was like, hey,
he knew.
Come over.
Sure.
But it was really cool.
The team called us.
The team called us. No, it was really great. That was a really great experience.
Was he nice?
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Come on.
He seems like he's a cool
he
film
comes
house
as
kid.
advertised.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Like, he comes as advertised.
Yeah. I mean, if you ever get a chance, watch his Criterion collection. in the
Oh, yeah,
closet. Like, he really is
okay.
a film nerd.
Well,
Yeah, no,
Like,
he
even,
seems like it.
Proximity, his, podcast
it's a great
Proximity,
podcast
which
too.
is really
Oh, I
great.
didn't know he had a
Mhm.
podcast. Oh, cool.
Yeah, yep,
Wow. All
yeah.
right. Yeah, I'll have to definitely check that
Check it
out.
out.
And I
Mhm.
love the Criterion Collection closet. Have you all been to it? Is it like a real closet? I'm like, is it just like 3 walls that you guys have set
It's
up and
actually, what do you call those? Like a
A trailer.
trailer? It's a
Oh,
Mhm.
trailer,
okay.
and you go in the place, and it's like a bunch of films
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
but
I love that.
Keep it in the closet.
Okay.
Sorry, I just had to.
Oh my gosh. I just love how responsive everybody has been to the work that you guys are doing. It's like, yeah, that's like really cool.
Thank you.
Y'all, we are here with Black Film Club Collective, but we're going to take a quick break, so we will be right back. WLPN LP Chicago 105.5 FM Lumpen Radio. Guys, we are here with Black Film Club Collective. For some reason, I always want to say shy, but that's
We used to
not.
be shy.
Oh, is that where I got that from?
we did a
Okay.
slight name change.
I love it.
Yeah.
A rebrand?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it. I used to have a friend all the time. Every few weeks, she was rebranding her blog. I'm like, girl, just change the colors. Like she like
Right.
didn't like purple. So she's like, I have to do a rebrand. It's like, just change the color. It's okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So
Perfection.
you guys have an exhibition up right now, Fine Lines.
We do.
Mhm.
Are you all filmmakers also?
Well, actually, yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Stepping into that role.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
I love
kinda
it.
crazy. I'm still getting used to saying that.
Right.
Mm.
I know if the shoe fits, and it does fit very
I
well.
think so. Yeah, it makes sense. Tell us about Fine Lines.
Yeah, so Fine Lines is a West Side and neighborhood focused, Chicago-based West Side neighborhood focused film salon and a vernacular archiving project. Based on the Black people and the Black communities on the West Side, and it's centered around capturing their stories of the everyday, what makes them special, right, and giving meaning to that. And we did that through a host of different activations, screenings, community portraits of these multi-generational families, and
Yeah.
also memory work in the form of audio oracle storytelling of their migration to Chicago West Side. So
Yeah.
that's what the project is, and feel free to
Yeah.
add anything.
Yeah, definitely tracking their migration journey, how they arrived to the West Side, and also how they decide what to keep and who
Mm.
taught them how to remember. That was so we had a guiding question that guided us through this whole process to even get to Fine Lines, right? So it started with making meaning. And so we began to ask the question like, who taught you how to remember? And also looking at how did you get here? What are some stories how do you decide what to keep now that you're here? And that introduced us to wonderful families, beautiful families who not only told us about how they arrived, but the things that they kept in their family that helped them to have that legacy, that helped them to really have a place here in not only Chicago, but in the ecosystem of the West Side, and wanting to tell their stories and illuminate their stories, which gave them an opportunity to really we began to see the thread of the fine line.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
as I was like preparing for this, I was thinking like, oh, what does the title Fine Lines mean? But yeah, you just explained it
Yeah.
beautifully.
We gotta give a shout out to SAIC, who actually was the sponsor of the project.
Okay, cool.
We've been artists in resident with them
Okay.
Yeah.
since the top of the year.
Okay,
along
right
with,
on.
three or four other artists? I want to say maybe three other artists.
That were a part of the program.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I think it was actually 4 in total. It was King. Well, we don't have to go through all the names, but essentially, it was quite a. It was more than
and
that.
so
A cohort.
cohort of
Okay.
us, and so we had to shout them out for giving us the space and the resources to actually take this project and really kind of like sit with it and think about it and expand it the way that we have been, which has led to the exhibition and now a short film we're working on too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
we worked with Ken Cook,
Yeah.
which is a wonderful photographer.
Mr. Ken Cook Jr.
Yes, thank you, Ken Cook Jr., who is an amazing photographer on the west side of Chicago. He has done work with The Reader, the Austin Weekly, North Lawndale publication, and other major outlets. And so we had an opportunity to partner and do the community portraits. with
Right
him.
on.
Yeah.
Will Ken become a member of the House of Collective?
Man, we hope so.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, I would love for him,
That would be
Ken,
awesome.
if you're listening, go ahead and give us what you got.
Yeah.
He is a friend of the house.
Yes, come on.
And hopefully we'll be able to continue doing work with him. We have some ideas, that we're thinking through right now on how to expand the project. So.
Yeah, because I was so
There you go.
curious, like, what, how the idea feels important enough to explore across mediums, both an exhibition and a film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the film aspect is really just illuminating the story because it's so funny. When we first started, we had to submit a proposal. This is our proposed idea. This is what we want to do. It was very basic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
But when you put a Capricorn and an Aquarius in the room, okay,
I love it.
Yeah.
things grow very quickly. And so we started with these beautiful film salons. We knew we wanted to show films. We had the opening reception, which we were like, okay, just kind of chewing on some ideas. And then it began to grow into this thing where, like, man, we can't just show films and have conversations. We have to listen to stories. And then those listening to stories, we had been talking with Ken early on before we even knew we were selected. And we were like, hey, we want to do some work together. And so when we found out Ken Cook Jr. was selected and we were selected, we were like, oh, we got to do something together.
Yeah.
And then it kind of blossomed into this great idea around, okay, let's do some portraits. And Ken's work is so beautiful and so it's like capturing families or capturing people in the realest, rawest moments, but making it look artful is just his magic or one aspect of magic that he brings into this world. And so it was like, oh wow, we get to work with you. And it kind of blossomed from there into like, okay, these community portraits. And then when we saw them, it was like, oh, these got to be flags. These got to be, people got to see them. They got to be huge and massive so that when you come through, you see these wonderful families represented on the west side and they look like somebody oh, this could be my auntie. This could be my uncle. This could be, so it was like that. And then it was too big to house into this exhibition. And then it was like, okay, we got to do a film too. And so I'll let Troy's really been beautifully spearheading a lot of the work we've been doing with Kim Williams on this.
Yeah, and I had to shout out to Chi because I think when we were doing the community portrait shoot, I think you might have actually thought about the migration line just to really capture those stories, and that's actually what's driving the narrative of the short film.
Okay.
We're actually taking a lot of that dialogue and building, building upon the story of the exhibition with these families through different archive of photos that they've given us. We're also working with the Getty Black collection to kind of also work, and then also our very talented chief editor Kim Williams, who we've been working very closely with to also cut and edit and build the film out. So it's going to be an extension that kind of just continues to grow that story and really give the full picture of these human beings, because Ken captured the joy, and now we can actually capture where they came from and how that kind of like how that joy became what it was here that makes like the fine lines.
Yeah, and what things they and the thing that I love that we keep coming back to is what they chose to keep.
Yeah.
That is so important when you're thinking about fine lines or you're thinking about making meaning of your own generational story. It's like, why did you keep this Bible for so many years in our family, And it's like, oh, it housed birth certificates. It also housed that scripture that got grandma through to even pray us into this new place that we're in.
Yeah.
So it was just such a great opportunity to understand why we choose what we keep and why they chose what they kept that brought them to this place where, whoa, these are the threads, these are the lines, this is the connection. And it was great. It was great. And it made so much sense.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. What did your subjects think seeing themselves? Is anybody like, oh yeah, y'all should have been did a movie on me?
No, that's so cute. So no.
Like about time.
It was really beautiful to see because, okay, so I'm gonna walk you through it. So you come into this industrial building. It looks like, okay, where am I at? Where am I?
Yes, you're walking us through as we go to see the exhibition.
Yes,
okay, right.
Yeah, and so you're coming in and you see the green line, you hear the train, you see some wonderful people, colorful people in the community, and you're like, okay, do I want to engage? Do I not want to engage? And you're walking and you go through this alley to get to the black room, and you go up these stairs, and it's an industrial building, and you see fine lines, you see your artist statement, you see all the things, but then you walk around the corner and you see these massive smiles that just greet you.
Oh.
And it's these flags that are hanging down. And before you even look at the wall to see the families on the wall or see some of the heirlooms or their hands or their arms or what aspects of them that are being shown, you see a smiling families that look at you, and they're on the west side. And so what we experienced is watching people's breath be taken away, like where they pause, right? And that, just to touch on, that is something that we often will do in a film screening. We'll have people pause to take a breath.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's really cool to see them walk around the corner, and then they just are like, whoa, it's this gasp of like, wow, to see a smiling family or see a smiling face. And so, yeah, they are awe-inspired. It's a gift to witness awe and see people in awe of themselves because they never imagined themselves to be that way. But then it's like, it makes so much sense. Thank you. Thank you for capturing it. So we heard thank yous. We saw breaths being taken away.
Oh.
Yeah, no, and I think just like the timelessness of the portraits that Ken took, they're in black and white. It felt very reminiscent of like our old portrait days with JCPenney, Sears. You used to go take them, like people came in like, matching wardrobes and tones for the shots. And I think it just felt nostalgic to the sense of also like when family used to do those type of portraits together. Everything's so digital now, but going like to when I feel like we're in a time where we're trying to get back to more of those analog things. Like let's actually go to a space as a unit and actually do something together. Like let alone take an image. And speaking with some of the families, like getting these multi-generational people together was even a moment to do that. And it's like, oh yeah, like let's go have a meal after this.
Yeah.
Let's have a coffee now since we're all together. And I think that's also magic in that piece as well. When you think about those images, and I think you can kind of see like that connected tissue of like those fine lines of keeping like families, connected in that manner.
Right on.
Yeah.
It comes through in the work, in my opinion.
Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. But also exciting, like what's it like, do y'all identify as artists? Or, I know people like say field programmers, like what's it like to just add this extra level to your work?
I'm gonna go first on this because
Okay.
she been about this our life.
Right, I was gonna say, yeah.
Her entire existence. We always joke like she has like 9 lives and she's in like life number 10 maybe.
Okay.
Right now, I would say it's newer. I definitely identify as a creative now, but definitely now that this film is being made, I would probably consider myself now an artist.
Okay.
But I don't.
Welcome.
Yeah, but I would say I wouldn't have identified myself as this 5 years or 6 years ago, when it started.
Oh my
I definitely
God.
think I would have been just maybe much more of a fan of a patron of the arts, let alone participating in this manner, if you will. So
Mhm.
that's been my journey, but it's just been honestly, it's been like a great, I guess, learning of yourself or what you're capable of and manifestation, but
Yeah.
I'll let she speak for herself
That's
since
giving me
she's
goosebumps, Troy. That's really exciting.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
and it's been nice to witness,
Yeah.
Troy blossom in this way too, of like, he says he didn't consider himself, but I'm like, come on, sir. Okay. I saw the early seeds of it, and it's been really nice to watch it grow in this amazing way. And I'm so looking forward to like all that comes of it, because I feel like, source universe is not done with you, and I'm just so happy and just excited to see all the things. And yeah, my background, art was an escape for me in a way of like, and I don't know what I'm escaping from, but it was like this idea of the mundane.
Uh-huh.
I really appreciate how art, it has you stop to appreciate what's before you and be in the moment. And so yeah, like I knew this was the path that I wanted to be on. I just didn't know what channel. I consider myself very multifaceted, like or what they call it, multi-hyphenate.
Mhm.
And I've done a lot of things, as Troy always teases me and others. I've done a lot of things, and it's really been this idea of let me throw a whole bunch of things on the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah.
And now I feel like we're in the season of refinement. I'm less interested in gathering it anymore as I am in using the talents that I have and making sure that I'm staying engaged with them in a way that allows me to also have my breath taken away, or like
Yeah.
also have my all moments and say, wow, you did that, girl. Like, oh, cool, And so it's been really nice to go to sleep at night and really find peace and solace with my gaze,
Yeah.
and less about like, oh, are people coming and seeing it? It was like when we finally got those flags up, it got that exhibition. Like when I'm gonna
Man,
use I'm
we
gonna
ain't
use
gonna
one
tell you
of
how close it
one of
was.
Troy words. He calls it, he stands up products. When we stood up this exhibition, I was like, wow. It was like
Yeah.
a moment of like, whoa, we did that.
That was chills for
It
sure.
was
Yeah.
we did that, and so, I don't know, it's been feeling really good to sit in this seat, because from artists to now curators, like,
Mhm.
this was our curatorial debut, and that's, like, really cool, and we have so much respect for our curator friends, and so we're still learning how to fill those shoes and be with those shoes and what all of that means. and
Mhm.
and so this is great to be on this journey now from as artists and stepping into curators and being, given this gift of holding people's work and their art and their vision in this way.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'll say, and I just want to say thank you to like Chicago, like our Chicago creative artist community at
Mhm.
large for actually trusting us,
Mhm.
with the responsibility of being film programmers, but then also being curators and artists and commissioning these work with these humans, right?
Yeah.
In this
Yeah.
neighborhood.
Right
Because
on.
I think me and she both take our work serious, and we have a pride about it. And I think, sometimes, in this space, things can feel unattainable,
Mm.
for people to attempt to do. But I feel like our community at large has supported us and kind of given us the green light to like really, participate, and I got to say that's just a contribute to maybe just the way we attempt to try to show up.
Yeah.
To deliver. Not perfect, understanding that we don't know it all. We went to curator school 101.
Yeah.
And we probably got like a B, B minus to B, maybe,
You're just
we'll
being
see.
hard on yourself.
We see,
You
but
still have a lot to learn.
Oh, of course, forever.
yeah.
And it's okay. Like I there was a time when I would look for perfection in the work, or like, oh, we got to do it this, because we started off that way. And I remember when we did our opening reception right after, we had some curator friends come who is in the art world, and I immediately sent them a message like, was this okay? What did I miss? And because I didn't go to school for this,
Yeah.
and so it was like I was like, oh, but did I do everything right? And it was like this moment after doing that. And they gave me feedback or what have you, and I incorporated as much as I could. It was like, no, you got to really just get your feet wet, and you got to do it.
Yeah.
And that's just the beauty of art. Art is so forgiving. People may not be. People may critique and say,
That's true.
I didn't see that artist statement. Where is that? Or whatever they, the title cards or what have you.
Yeah.
And so they will have their feedback, but also when you're moving in a way where you're allowing the universe or source or whatever is inspiring you to express through you, sometimes you just gotta do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah,
we've
just
been
get
doing
started.
it
Oh,
and
absolutely,
doing
you
it.
all have.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, and you're enjoying it and learning and
So
It's been a blast, honestly.
yeah, that's really cool. I mean, I can't wait to see it. It's up until
till this weekend, actually, we
Oh,
are
okay.
having our closing reception and artist talk
Whoop,
on 7/17 at 7
Okay.
p.m.
Awesome.
Look at that, right?
Wow.
Get all those sevens.
I love
Hold
it.
on. Let's play the lottery. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, coming back.
Run them numbers.
No, see, no, it's
You
7.
laugh, but watch where I go after this, right?
It's 7/17. Well, at 7 p.m. at the Black Room, 4015 West Carroll, we'll be having an artist talk and our closing reception. And yeah, people will be able to see it that Friday and Saturday, and then we're taking it down that Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have Ken Cook Jr. in the building.
Oh, wonderful.
Who is the photographer, image maker, and Ken Williams as well, who's our cinematographer and editor. And we'll talk a little bit about project and kind of our process also. So,
Yeah, and since we're just on the talk of like how to get in touch with y'all, how do folks find out about the screenings and stuff y'all have? Where could they go for more information?
yeah, you can follow us at Black Film Club CLTV.
Okay.
On Instagram. And also we have a website as well. If you want to follow us there, that's blackfilmclub.com, and that's just spelled BLK filmclub.com, all one word.
Yes.
And yeah, our social media from a awareness perspective is definitely on Instagram. That's where we have everything. We have a link tree with all the events, interviews, things. Basically, if you want to get in touch with us,
Okay.
you can normally reach us there. And also our email is on there as well if you want to reach out, if you're interested in more curatorial work, or if you want to do some film programming with us.
Yeah.
Our books are open.
Yes.
You
Okay.
asked about the House of the Collective.
Yeah.
If there is a film buff, a cinephile out there, and they're like, hey, I got a film for you,
Yeah.
please feel free to email us, Black Film Club. That's blkfilmclub@gmail.com. Who knows? Maybe, I don't know.
No promises, but if it's heat,
who knows?
Right. It could be that cousin that's like, I got a movie. I got a
Right.
movie.
Right.
Cousins
And
be putting you on.
we
on
have
something.
the Chicago Film Symposium that will take place next year, 2027.
Okay.
And so
That was wonderful. Was that last year? I feel like the
Yes.
time is sort of like messing with me.
no.
Okay. Yeah. That was
shout
wonderful.
out to
That was wonderful.
Miss Danielle Scruggs, a Black woman
Yes.
director.
Yes.
She's our co-partner in crime,
Yes.
conspiracy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who would that be?
Co-conspirator, yes.
Yeah, co-conspirator in the development of this
Yes.
symposium. And so we want to come back. We took this year off to revamp, develop, and make sure it's stronger.
Yeah.
And we're more prepared to kind of serve everybody when we return. So
Yeah. I thought it was great. So we'll see what the next one's
Yeah.
like. But yeah, I think that's smart to take a break. Sometimes when people have stuff annually, it's like,
It's a
Oh
lot.
my God, that's like in 12, like another like 11 months
We
after
were
we
gonna
had this
do it
thing.
annually. Yeah, that was like the intent at first, and then we were like, "Oh, in order for us not to burn out, let's just be
Yeah, that's the
spacious. Let's
thing.
just breathe differently."
Ooh, I love that word, spacious. I'm gonna,
Mhm.
guys, I'm just gonna be spacious, okay?
Yes,
Yeah.
we're
That's the
gonna just be
words.
spacious.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're good with these words.
Thank you. You
Yes.
know, I do what I can do when I can do.
Right?
I want to ask you guys a fun question. Oh my gosh, y'all, they work so wonderful together, don't they? What is okay, this is fun question time. What is a black film to y'all that folks might not seem is a black film?
Folks might not interpret as a
Interpret
black.
as a black
Okay.
film.
All
Thank
right.
you.
All right.
Yes,
There
yes,
we
yes,
go.
yes. Thank
Cool.
you.
Mhm.
You're good with words too.
Yeah, he is. He is. Look, yes, he is. Yes.
I can go on this.
Okay.
I'm gonna go out, and maybe folks think this, but I don't think everybody. I think people categorize this differently. Blade is
Yeah.
100% a black film. And honestly, before I even knew Marvel picked it up, I just thought it was like, yo, this is like a black vampire that like
Yeah.
is doing God's will. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but it's like a crazy. Just to give you a little context, like the first one is crazy because like his mother was like birthing him. She was taken advantage of by like this, this European vampire. I think she dies in the process of having him, and it's just like
Oh my
if you
goodness.
think about that like connection of like how like black women have been treated in like hospitals, and then just like his experience being a black vampire in the
Yeah.
city, like there's like that universe is so interesting because like vampires are like ancient human beings, so
Right.
they have like these like European ties to like kingdoms, and then he's just like this inner city like mutt vampire.
Right.
I'm like, this is such like a
Mutt
black
vampire.
experience, like a
Yeah.
microcosm of like how somebody would experience having like super abilities like this, and he's like on a campaign to like change everything because of how he ended up, so
For
like
sure.
it's, in my opinion, 100% it's a black film.
Yeah.
He just Marvel happens to have the rights to it.
Yeah.
Mine is Purple Rain.
Oh yeah.
Purple Rain, it feels very black, and I really appreciate the storyline, even with I don't appreciate the domestic violence. That part was really tough
Yeah.
to move through, but it was just the story of triumph and overcoming obstacles and really unapologetically being about your art by any means necessary by a podunk. At the time, it was considered like Minnesota. You're from Minnesota.
Yeah.
It's like, what? And you're doing it. So it was like very much a story of triumph and also a banging soundtrack.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What's yours?
You know what? I was thinking Love and Basketball. I feel like folks will definitely say like, oh no, it's just a story about basketball. But I'm like, I guess for me, black film is like, is there a black person in it? And that's like a black cast. And so anytime folks try to challenge that, I'm like, no, it was a black film.
And the storyline.
Yeah,
that
the
mother
storyline.
and daughter relationship between Sanaa and her mother and how her mother saw her.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
wanted her to go down this path of being what they, even in the movie, prissy. And she was
Yes.
like, considered a tomboy. It's like that was such a true depiction of how families during that time they really thought like that. I remember my mother, I wore cross colors and baggy jeans, and she would be like,
Me
no, I
too.
want you to dress like this. So
Yeah.
that dynamic felt very real.
Before we go, does that mean, going back to Blade, do we only have 3 black vampires? Because I think of like Sinners, the character in his, well, no,
I
that's
gotta
just one.
toss.
And then Blade, so I'm like, are there 2 black vampires?
No,
or-
honey, there's
A few of 'em.
Okay.
The
Eddie
Sweet
Murphy?
Blood of Jesus.
Oh, sure.
Did you see that with
No, I
Spike
didn't.
Lee, that
I'm not a
film?
horror person. Danielle's been trying to, black film director tried to put me on.
Yeah,
That's why I'm like,
yeah.
for the movies that I've seen, that's how I'm counting.
Vampire in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Ganja.
Oh, yeah, duh. Oh my gosh.
Ganja and Hess.
Yes, that's true.
That one. And also Lestat, the new Interview with the Vampire.
Oh,
on AMC.
true.
I
True.
really like that story. And
Yeah.
that guy is really handsome who
Shout out.
plays Louis. I mean, I mean, if I gotta go and look at your IMDb and I'm stalking you on Instagram trying to see what you about, then yeah,
You're a fan.
I am a fan of
Yeah.
Louis, the new Interview with the Vampire. So yeah, so there are a couple out there.
Yeah,
and I'm
that's
sure there are
true.
more.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. In Twilight, they didn't have any.
No, they did
I
not.
don't think I've seen any
I think I did.
black vampires in Twilight.
But please keep us honest out
right.
there,
Yeah.
listeners.
Somebody's gonna be like, okay, y'all asked for a movie. Let me put y'all on to a movie about
Exactly.
black vampires.
Exactly.
Need
Yeah.
y'all to be blown up.
Yup. Oh my gosh. Troy, gee, thank you guys so much for being with us today on Nosy AF on
Yeah.
Lumpen Radio.
Yeah, and thank you for making it easy.
Oh,
You
my
were
gosh.
such a great interview.
Oh my goodness.
Like,
Thank you.
Too easy.
Yeah.
I'm in the living room.
I love that. I know you guys are so easy to talk to. And we have until the 17th to get to the exhibition, if you will, but like to check that out. I'm sure everybody would love to see you there.
Yeah,
So
come out.
thanks, Chicago, for listening to us, and have a great day.
Thank you.
See ya.
This has been another episode of Nosy AF, where we have conversations about art, activism, and social change. I'm your host, Stephanie Graham. I hope you took something away from today, maybe an idea, a feeling, something to sit with, or just a good time. And honestly, I'm always here for a good time. Quick thank yous go out to Queen Lex and Freddie Bam Fam for the Nosy AF theme music, and Emma McGolrick for cover art and branding. And that's the show, friends. Until next time, stay curious and take care. Bye.